The enemy runs off codependency. If he can get you hooked, if he can feel like you're codependent, and it's not always physically. Some people are codependent spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Why? Because those voids. What I go back to, the prey and the predator. The predator played on them voids, and he knew how to get you right where he wanted you. The enemy knew how to get you right where he wanted you. So now you're dependent on what it is that he's giving you to fill those voids, even though voids are a bottomless pit. You can't feel those. But yet in your mind, you feel like it. This is why the next time it'll be better. You start doing certain things, and then you start conforming. It's a mind control thing. Because when you sit here and you think about it, it's the love bombing phase, right? He give you what you want. Then all of a sudden he stopped. Now you trying to find yourself. It's called a sacrifice. People think sacrifice is just like back in the biblical day with the old people. No. You get to a point where you start wanting to sacrifice certain things. People be out here sacrificing their kids, y'all. And when I say that, I don't mean like literally like, oh, go put them on the altar. No, I'm talking about you sacrificing their destiny. You sacrificing, now they got trauma. You don't understand what's taking place spiritually. You are sacrificing your kids to be with this man. You are literally tying up their destinies, tying up their spiritual life just because you want to be with this man. It is deep. This thing goes deep, and I'm not going to even go this deep. I wasn't even supposed to be on this long, but here we are. Sum it up to this. There's a game being ran in this world. And if you don't know, you're being played. Don't lower yourself. Don't conform to get nobody. Because you got to understand the person that is for you, you ain't going to have to do nothing. Because God is going to reveal. It talks about, I don't know if it say this, but it talks about God will hide your virtue. God will hide you. That's actually a blessing. I used to think it was a curse, right? Because sometimes you can know what it is that God showed you. You can know certain things, right? But it's like people are blinded to it. They treat you like you crap and all this, and you got to understand that's a blessing because God will hide it. Because if the enemy sees it, he will destroy you before God gets it out of you. So God will put like a veil over you. And here people are passing over you, thinking you nothing, thinking all this, and that's a blessing. Even though it can feel like a curse in the moment because you feel like you're being rejected. But in all reality, God is like, I needed to protect you in that season because you were surrounded by a whole bunch of demons that was ready to devour you if they knew what I put in you. So don't devalue yourself. Don't degrade yourself. And for women, you're more than a body. And just like a man, you're more than a body, right? You're not just a penis. You are more. Like, we're not just vaginas and penises out here. We are literally spirits housed in this body that God has literally blessed us with virtues, with gifts, with talents that needs to go out into the world. And when you get with the right person, you can produce it and you can release it. Because without a sperm, you need a sperm and a womb to birth something. So this is why God created partnership. This is why God created relationship. This is why God created marriage, right? But we have perverted it. We have got so caught up on selfish, right? I realized that marriage is ministry. Like, I used to want to be in a marriage because I wanted it, right? I wanted the pictures. I wanted the relationship goals. I wanted the marriage goals. And God was like, you're not going to get that until you realize marriage is ministry. When you realize that marriage is going to be a representation of Christ and his body, right? I'm trying to do something through you. This thing, like when you realize a lot of things are bigger than you, then you will start to get what God has for you because God is focused on getting you up here, and that's kingdom. That's after souls, because a lot of souls are dying and we worried about, God, where my husband at? Are you in your assignment? Are you healed? People are literally going to hell by the dozens, and you talking about where my husband at because you want to get funky in the bed. No. You need to go heal. You need to go get in your purpose. You need to seek first the kingdom of God. You need to go back to your first love and allow him to feel you. Because a lot of times I realize it's our voids talking. God, I want a husband. No, you want God. It's crazy how our wiring and stuff had got so perverted that we literally just automatically assume something with something. Oh, I'm lonely. I realized, like, a lot of times when you are lonely, I even realized, like, sometimes when you have a sexual desire, that's creative energy. Most of the time, that's the time when you need to get in God's presence, and you can probably be amazed what you come up with. Like, a lot of times we assume, because our wires are perverted. We live in a world that has perverted our thoughts. We have conformed to the world. Like, let's be clear. So a lot of things we have perverted. We don't really understand it. We don't really know it. So when it pops up, we just automatically assume, oh, it's I need to get this nut off. I need to do this, and it's like, no, your spirit man is just crying out to be in God's presence. It needs to be filled. You're low right now. You need to be filled, like, with God's presence, like, right? But yeah. So we're gonna leave it at that, okay? Don't degrade yourself. You're more than your body. And seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all other things will be added to you.